what can I say, guys? We got our first OTS Store Championship first place trophy. And to make it even better, it's the first one I've gotten. And it so happens to be first place with Dark Magician Girl. So, with that being said, have I not proven by now that my hero build is, at this point, just superior at this point? I mean, come on. First regional I go to starting our new season of Yu-Gi-Oh! I already get my invite. We don't have to struggle to get it. And to make it even better, it was a format that I shouldn't have even topped in. I mean, we still got Cashier. We still had Cashier running around at the time. Droll and Lockbird is in everybody's main deck. It's just any kind of just super bad thing that Heroes couldn't handle. We fought through that, got our playmat, got our invite already, and then you guys already saw the last deck profile I did, and now we've got our OTS Championship. What else can I say other than if you are new to the channel, by now, if this introduction hasn't ceased to amaze you, you need to destroy that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up button for me as well. Obviously, at this point, we guys know we got this playing Heroes. So this is just going to be the deck profile. But yeah, I don't really have much other to say than just your boy just keeps doing these things, man. So now we got our regional invite. We got our OTS Store Championship first place. And you already know what's coming up next. We got to go to a YCS. We're going to top Nationals, allowing us to get our invite to Worlds as well. I just hope this time Worlds will let us be able to use Infernal Rage, because if I so happen to go to Worlds and they're like, yeah, you can't use Infernal Rage, I'd have been like, well, this sucks. But anyway, guys, we're going to just go ahead and jump into this deck profile.
All right, you guys. You guys already know how I usually do this. We're going to start off with our Vision Hero package. So, of course, triple copies of Vision Hero Ferris. And I've been starting to see lately that people are wanting some combo guides on like the Facebook Hero group lately. So I'll probably do like a refresher for you guys. So for those of you who are new, can understand how to play this deck just a little bit more. But if you are watching this video trying to learn this deck, just know playing 3 copies of this is pretty much a must. This is definitely one of the best combo starters you can see into the deck, along with 2 copies of Vision Hero Vion. He pretty much gives us everything. I mean, I'd say Stratos is still the better normal summon than this card, but he gives us access to dumping a hero into the graveyard and also being able to search Polymerization, which is also not once per turn. It's a pretty much soft once per turn per copy. So if you manage to get another Vision Hero Vion out on the field, you can search for another Polymerization. You just can't send another monster the same turn. And by now, this should explain to you guys that 1 Vision Hero increase works. How many of these top deck profiles do I have to show you guys that 1 increase is the way to go? Just stop running all these extra bricks in your deck. There's just no reason for that. If you see it, that's fine. We're a rogue deck. You're gonna get punished sometimes. You literally have a disadvantage just playing the deck. That's what happens when you're playing rogue. So just why not just do what needs to be done and just minimize your chances of actually just seeing this card in your hand, okay? Like, you can survive without the second copy. Of course, for Elemental Heroes, 3 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos. Even though Droll is still kind of a thing, this is a must normal summon. It's literally our strongest normal summon in the game. Still, until we get introduced into a new Elemental Hero, which I hope will be pretty soon. I mean, I'm kind of tired of getting extra deck monster support. We kind of need more main deck. The last good main deck stuff we got in a long time was literally the Vision Heroes and Liquid Soldier, and that's literally the last thing. Oh, and Denier, of course, but we need something else. We need another Elemental Hero for our main deck to give us access to have better options for hero lives. And of course, 2 copies of Shadow Mist. I see that some of you guys are playing too. That is the incorrect way to go. I'm sorry. I don't care to hurt your feelings. It's not the right way to do it. I'm sorry. It's just not. There's never a chance where I'm just like, yeah, I think 1 Shadow Mist is all I'm gonna ever need. No, there's chances where you're gonna need to use this card again. It's gonna happen. Either to get your mass change or get a search off for a hero. And sometimes, maybe you don't even get Shadow Mist's effect off. Sometimes you pitch Shadow Mist with Ferris, and then they bestial your Shadow Mist away. And then it's just like, well, there goes my one and only Shadow Mist. Now I'm never gonna ever have that search ever again. So I don't know. I'm sorry. Just 1 copy just seems foolish. But one thing that isn't foolish having a 1 of is Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier, along with 1 copy of Elemental Hero Neos. Liquid Soldier is also really great for just, being able to dig into more cards of our deck, being able to draw 2 cards when he's used for fusion material. Also, his normal summon effect, being able to revive a hero monster out of the graveyard, which ended up happening during this OTS championship, which, obviously, guys, I will be uploading the Yu-Gi-Oh! Day episode showing all my duels, explaining how everything went down, where I even used this effect to normal summon and bring back Vion just to completely brutalize the final opponent I dueled against. And of course, obviously, the copy of Elemental Hero Neos. You guys don't really ever have to worry about summoning this card. We mostly use it as fusion material for Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman. And then, of course, last but not least, our last Elemental Hero of the deck, Elemental Hero Honest Neos. I haven't really been paying attention if people are playing this card anymore, but he has definitely came back into my deck ever since I stopped using Spirit of Neos, until I dive into more of a Spirit Neos build where I'm using Cosmo Neos. Honest Neos is just great. Being able to protect your monster, just sneakily being able to protect your heroes during the battle phase, and also just giving your heroes just a huge boost, being able to just completely obliterate your opponent as well. And it's just such a great card to bring back into the deck. And I missed him so much, to be honest. On to our Destiny Heroes. This is pretty standard. 2 copies of Malicious, 1 Plasma, 1 Denier, 1 Dark Angel. I think some people are starting to side deck Dark Angel maybe, but you never know how your matchups are gonna go. To me, if I can't get access to Plasma, or I know I just don't have the abilities to, if I'm just like, I really can't afford to tribute 3 monsters for Plasma, you can still at least Dark Angel and prevent them from getting spells and traps. I mean, I know it might not be the bestest format, but you never know what your opponent might open up with. Like, what if they just open up nothing but spells and traps, and then that just completely just ends their turn? But skill drain or giving them no spells, the options are limitless. That's why it's just great to have every option available in your deck, so you can just, like, if you're able to figure out what your opponent's playing ahead of time, you can just make your decisions based on that. Of course, like I said, that was the last for the Destiny Heroes. Just for our hand traps, it was just 2 copies of Joel and Lockbird and 2 copies of Ash Blossom. I really honestly cannot wait to take Joel and Lockbird out of my main deck and just put it into my side deck, but it's still just going to be a thing for now. And then just 2 copies of Ash Blossom just to shut down just some of those annoying cards that you really just don't want to deal with. And then onto our spells. Of course, we're going to do 3 copies of Hero Lives. This is a must. This is just either Ash Bait or just huge, sometimes this card could be everything or just bait. And that's just a lot of our cards most of the time. It's like it's either bait but obviously it gives us access to Elemental Hero Stratos and Shadow Mist if you really need to see the mass change. Sometimes I actually go for Shadow Mist most of the time if I see Hero Lives and I know I have 2 other cards in my hand to combo off with. Reason being is if I get access to Shadow Mist, I can grab a mass change, and if they draw and Logburn me right there, at least I know I can at least end my turn on a Microcosmos and whatever else I might have in my hand at the time, instead of just going, hey, Stratos search, and then just get completely turned off right then and there. And to follow up the Hero Lives, 3 copies of Fusion Destiny. It's kind of crazy how our deck has evolved. I don't really prefer to actually activate Fusion Destiny. because we can really just summon DPE with polymerization and just the way our deck can just combo off now. But obviously it's really great to have just in case. And if you happen to be going into a game 3 and you go first and you see this card, you pretty much already know, well, I won the game, because now I'm going to be able to burn my opponent with Destiny Hero Dystopia's effect. I'm just going to take that off because I keep scooting it away. Now, of course, we've got the card everybody's been talking about. We are playing 2 copies of D-Force. Now, of course, you guys know with this new format, Unchained has kind of just been taking the top. And unfortunately, I did not get to play against Unchained in the event. I almost did, but then they had a repair, and then I faced a tier limit player instead, which I feel is just as tough, if not tougher. But this being able to stop your opponent from just being able to target your field in general. I've already had a previous video talking about D-Force, so if you guys haven't seen that, please check it out on the channel. It's literally just, hey, do we play D-Force or not? But I feel like this deck profile pretty much just confirms that, yeah, I think we should play D-Force, because this card is absolutely amazing. And last for just our extenders, 1 Foolish and 1 Rivalry. Reinforcements of the army, my bad. And then, of course, we were playing 2 copies of Mass Change. I wanted to play the 3rd, but I wanted to make room for, I wanted to make room for D-Force, so I figured, I guess I'll just get rid of 1 copy of Mass Change just to make room for at least 1 D-Force. I can't remember what extra card I took out for D-Force. It was probably like the 3rd Infinite Impermanence, maybe, I'm not sure. But also just Darklaw being a card now that Cashier is pretty much just gone. Since Rise Heart is pretty much gone, Darklaw has pretty much just, taken the top once again. And obviously, like you guys have been seeing, I've been preaching about 2 copies of polymerization for the longest time. It's just, you want to see this card. I don't know why certain people say it's a brick. It's not. We're a fusion deck. How does your fusion spell mean it's a brick? Like, I don't see it. Like, I love already having this in my hand, and then they go and stop Vion thinking my turn's gonna end, and then I just go, yeah, I had a polymerization in my hand. Everybody's had that feeling when they stopped Alistair the Invoker, and then they had an invocation in their hand anyway. Everybody's had that feeling. And then, of course, to go with that, 1 Miracle Fusion. There's never been a real reason to play more than just 1. Now the fact that we can just search it with ease and then reset it with Wonder Driver, really no reason to play more copies. And obviously, this is a very amazing card. Then for my non-engine, 2 copies of Droplet. Honestly, if I had a 3rd, I'd play it. 1 Call by the Grave, and pretty much Call by the Grave number 2 Crossout Designator. Never came up in in this event, but it's literally just a second Call by the Grave for me. It was just mostly, it's not that it didn't have any use, it's just I never actually saw the card. Or, if I would have seen it, there would have been definitely times where I would have played it. And then, of course, the Triple Tactics Talent. I pretty much just treat these as triple Call by the Grave. I mean, obviously, Talents doesn't negate like, these 2 do. But I treat it like that because it's like, hey, you tried to, stop my turn. I can benefit type of situation. And then for our traps, 2 Imperm and 1 Favorite Contact. All right, that was it for the main deck. It was a 46 total. Now on to our extra deck. We start off with our links as usual. 2 copies of Cross Crusader, 1 Wonder Driver. Obviously, for those who don't know, can revive Destiny Heroes, so if your opponent manages to stop you from reviving Phoenix Enforcer, you can literally just link summon into Cross, target Phoenix, and bring him back, and it's just like he never left the field at all. Also, you can tribute a Destiny Hero and search for a hero. And like I just said before, Wonder Driver is the one who resets our fusion spells when a hero is summoned, where he points to that you control. So I have no idea why they made him point forward. I think he would have been a such better link if he pointed down and sideways, or down and angly, or just whatever. But anyway, 1 Infernal Divisor. Literally his only purpose is to search for Elemental Hero Neos out of the deck. And then, of course, 1 Dread Decimator, which I highly recommend you guys play if you don't play him. Does piercing damage, boosts all your heroes, and yeah, he's just an OTK machine. And it helps that he's a dark. So if you've already swung with Dread Decimator and your other heroes, he's also another match change target in case you need that extra attack going off. That was it for our links. Onto our fusions. 1 Elemental Hero Sunrise, 1 Absolute Zero, 1 Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, 1 Infernal Rage, and of course 1 Shining Neos Wingman. It's pretty much kind of just the standard extra deck, you guys. Maybe other than this, we're going back to 2 copies of Masked Hero Darklaw and 1 Blast. Like I said before, Riseheart's gone. He's the big man in town now. Darklaw is just gonna make opponents remember who actually is the big daddy of banishing your cards. So yeah, Darklaw's here to come back. Your opponents won't forget it. And of course, Blast is just obviously just so good for bouncing back spells and traps, helping Stratos dodge targeted effects. And I mean, this card literally wrecks Labyrinth. Like I feel like I got my invite because when I did the regional, it was him and DPE just controlling Labyrinth player the whole time. So for those of you who don't play Blast, I highly recommend you play Blast. Last but not least, for our Destiny heroes, of course, we got the King, Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. Just MVP, best hero card, probably best boss monster ever printed for heroes in general. He's such a powerful card. Like, you're so broken, the fact that other decks had to play you to mimic a fraction of our power. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was like, I need to play triple copies of Fusion Destiny with Verte Anaconda and play Phoenix Enforcer because he's so nuts. And then, of course, Destiny Hero Dystopia for burning for game, essentially, which actually occurred twice in the event. So, yeah. Destiny Hero Dystopia is definitely a must because time is still a thing. Even though we get 45 minutes, it still happens, you guys. Now, of course, because this was a top, I usually don't show my extra deck just because extra deck just always defers to how other people play and, you know, what they see most of the time. But because it's a top, I usually show it. 2 Nibiru, 2 Dark Ruler No More, 2 Eclipse, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 Evenly Matched, 2 D Barriers, and 2 Rivalry of the Warlords. And that's just pretty much, that was it for my side deck. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Try it out yourselves. If you don't believe me by now, you can literally just look at my videos and see how well we do every time I show up with a new deck to you guys. It always does very well. But anyway, you guys, if you are new to the channel and you are still not subscribed at this point, please just destroy that subscribe button. It's not gonna hurt you to touch that. And hit the thumbs up button as well on your way out. But this is gonna be your boy Trinity Wolf signing out, and I will see you guys with another undefeated deck profile next time. And of course, obviously, maybe a day episode coming up. Alright, bye.